friends, I'm Walker and welcome back to All About Nails, where we talk about vegan and cruelty-free nail polish. I'm really excited today to be talking about this lovely group of teal, blue, green nail polishes from Zoya. And we're going to be doing a quick comparison of these 5 shades. If you're just joining in, this is part of my blues comparison series, which I've been doing in the months of January and February on my channel. And so I will link that playlist up above and down below if you want to start from the beginning and catch all of the other comparisons. This is one that I have really been looking forward to though, so let's dive into talking about these 5 polishes. The first polish that we're talking about today is Wednesday, and Wednesday is described by Zoya as a faded, dirty medium turquoise with green undertone. I feel like that seems exactly right. The green on this one obviously comes through really well, which I love. And Wednesday is from the summer 2012 beach and surf collection, and Wednesday definitely looks like a summer polish to me. Up next is Danica, which many of you might be really familiar with because this one just came out in the 2018 Jubilee collection. So that was last year's winter collection. This is pretty recent. And Danica is a really fascinating polish. It's described by Zoya as a full coverage, rich, deep teal cream. Cecilia Zoya describes as a classic teal, so it's in my mind right in the middle of green and blue. It's perfectly in the middle. And this is from 2015 from the Island Fun and Paradise Sun collection. And then we have Talia, which is actually also from the Island Fun and Paradise Sun collection. So they're both lovely summer polishes. And Talia is described as a true turquoise in a full coverage, densely pigmented cream. Alright, and then finally we're talking about Bevin, and Bevin is described as a dusty medium sage green with teal tones and a creamy opaque finish. And Bevin was from the 2012 spring collection, which was the true collection. Here are our 5 absolutely stunning polishes, and there are some really obvious differences within these 5. As I was reading the descriptions, Zoya says some of them are turquoise, some of them are teal, some of them just have teal undertones like our friend Bevin over here. So there are some really obvious differences here. What I think is really helpful to see together is to just figure out kind of where they would fit in your collection and see if there's one of these that you might be more excited about than the other. So in my mind, Talia sticks out obviously as being the most blue toned, especially against these other ones. It looks really, really blue toned. So I do want to bring in a couple more classic blues to just see how green it looks up against them. So here's Mallory and Sia, which were both in my medium blues group in this series, and Talia looks so green compared to these two, and I think these really help to show exactly how much green is in this lovely turquoise. Okay, and now for the more green leaning polishes, I also wanted to bring in a couple greens to just show how much blue is in these ones. So Ness is a really lovely, bright, springy green. I love Ness. I can't wait to do my greens videos because greens are some of my favorite polishes along with blues. Really, I like most colors of polish, but Ness I think really shows, even in these ones that look pretty green, exactly how much blue is here. So it shows, you know, they fall really in between the green and the blue category. Look at this spread. This is so beautiful. Okay, I did want to pull in Neely just to show again, this is a much lighter green, but I think Neely really shows that even though these ones are lighter in color, they still fall in between the kind of blue-green category. I would say Danica is another outlier here. Unlike Talia, Danica does look like it fits here in terms of color, but Danica definitely is much darker than these other polishes. If we look at it next to Cecilia, which is probably the closest in terms of color because of how much green is in Danica, really Danica is so much deeper, so much darker. I did compare Danica up against my navies in the navy comparison that I did, and so if you want to see how it compares to that, you can watch that video and you'll see a little bit closer up of Danica and the navies. In my mind, Bevin and Wednesday are probably the 2 that are the closest here, just because they're the most similar in terms of the amount of blue and green in them, but Wednesday is much brighter, and especially on the nail, Wednesday just looks much brighter. It's much more summery. Bevin is definitely a little bit more pastel. I did want to bring in Lake because Lake kind of also falls between this blue and green category. I decided to leave Lake in my light blue polishes because I think that Lake is much more defined by how much white is in it, but I did want to show you up close to Bevin how close these 2 are. Bevin is clearly much deeper. Bevin has a lot more saturation in it. Lake is much lighter, much more washed out, but they're very similar kind of sagey green with teal undertones. Okay, now for some favorites. Bevin is wonderful. I absolutely love Bevin. This was in my go-to Zoyas. It's neutral enough to wear it to almost any occasion. It's absolutely stunning. And then I think Wednesday is really similar to Bevin in terms of kind of tone, the amount of green, the amount of blue, but I think it's really stunning. I really like Wednesday. It's very bright, much brighter than Bevin is on the nail. And so if you're someone who likes to wear bright summery polishes, especially in the summer, I think you'd really like Wednesday. Talia and Cecilia, I really like both of these. They're both super bright. They're really nice for the summer. Some people get staining with both of these. I would say if you like more blue leaning polishes, maybe Talia is the way you want to go. Cecilia is definitely much more green. So that's really hard to decide. I would say most people's collections probably don't need all 4 of these, but they are different enough that if you're looking for a reason to justify it, you could get all 4. You need an excuse, you can justify having them, but the ones that I pull for all the time, just knowing kind of the colors that I like to wear the most, are probably Bevin, Cecilia, and Danica. Those 3 just get much more wear in my collection. Awesome, so that's the comparison. I hope that you learned something today. I hope you're taking away something either about a polish that's already in your collection or maybe a polish you want to consider adding to your collection. As always, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes to talk about nail polish with me today. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that you will leave me a comment down below letting me know which of these you like the most, which one you're interested in adding or interested in pulling back out from your collection. And as always, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next video in this comparison series. And that playlist again will be linked up above on your screen and also down below in the description if you want to see the rest of the comparison videos in this series. Awesome, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!